My partner 25 female tested positive, but I 25 male are negative I didn't cheat. Hi 25M tested negative to chlamydia after my partner 25F tested positive. 2-year relationship. She tested negative during pregnancy about 5 months into our relationship. I can attest to having one sexual encounter before she was even in the picture that was unprotected and may have given me chlamydia. I had 0 symptoms until my doc found fairly advanced epididymitis, and I was obviously treated with doxycycline after my son was born. My partner was having some issues with her period and tested positive, and I'm being accused of cheating. I offered the explanation that it may have taken some time to contract it, that I may have gotten a false negative, or that a housemate may have transmitted it through eye touching and everything. I swear on my son's lives I never cheated, yet I'm about to lose my family over this, because she thinks I did. I have been scouring the internet, trying to find an answer to this. I think it must have been unnoticed, and she didn't get it until after the pregnancy. I'm not a cheater, yet I'm being told I'm lying, and that I gave it to her. I swear I never cheated at all, and I'm absolutely destroyed at the prospect of losing my beautiful family. How could this be possible? I think the woman I slept with all that time ago gave it to me, and she may have just not contracted it until after the pregnancy. But everything I see says that it's highly contagious. I'm suspicious of a female housemate that may have had it or something? I don't know. Right now I'm devastated. Someone please help. Too long did not read. I didn't cheat on my partner, yet she contracted chlamydia after testing negative during pregnancy. I'm so confused how you are not positive, yet you are the one accused of cheating. Chlamydia can be tricky. False negatives do happen ND, sometimes it lies dormant with no symptoms. Doesn't automatically mean cheating, I think. My OBGYN once told me that it can show up years later. So it could be that she got it prior to the relationship, and it only showed up now from my understanding. Maybe go to a doc appointment together and have the doc explain to her how this doesn't mean you cheated, and it's possible that it could have been dormant. If it helps her, give her your phone, let her scour your internet history and email or whatever. Start sharing locations, and that sort of thing. Might sound extreme, but it might also help her rebuild trust, knowing that you're willing to do whatever she needs to make this work. Then she was probably cheating. It'll be those koalas again. Sneaky little fuckers. I, 34 female, saw texts between my husband, 34 male, and his mom. Edit. I feel I need to add this. His vices include smoking weed and nicotine pouches. I would say I was being a little dramatic saying he won't stay sober. I would say the nicotine is more social, but weed is more of a daily thing, or definitely more frequently. He has stopped before for longer periods, but once he starts back up it's hard to stop again, and again it takes 3 months to change sperm numbers. He drinks but only 1-2 a week, which I'm not even pressed on. Unfortunately I enjoy weed myself, and know lots of men who do it, and have fine sperm, but unfortunately the doctors say that it can have an affect, and something we have to watch. So obviously just want the best chances we can. Thanks for all the replies. I definitely knew the answer, but hearing it from others makes it easier to execute. Love. My husband just got a new phone and left an old one laying around. Well, he is out of town and I saw it, and sure enough everything is still set up on the phone, so all his texts are coming through. So I ended up going through his phone and saw texts between him and his mom. Probably shouldn't have, but honestly so glad I did. Backstory. We are struggling with fertility, and it's been a draining process. My husband is the main component to the infertility, which makes it tough. We together have done tons of lifestyle changes, but he struggled with remaining consistent with the changes and remaining sober and healthy. He recently had a physical and got results that said his thyroid is low. Mind you, when the nurse called he didn't ask her any questions related to what he can do or tell her about the infertility issues, etc. Come to find out last year, when we got our physicals, he never got the results and never followed up about them, even after multiple reminders from me. So now we don't know if the thyroid issue is new or has been a thing. Obviously pretty frustrating. He thinks I'm being ridiculous and too much about it all, but here we are supposed to start in the next month and spend thousands on IVF. So obviously fixing it to better help us with the chance to conceive naturally would be ideal. On top of this, my sister just found out she was pregnant around the same time this all happened, which took a huge toll on me and definitely heightened my frustrations with everything and him not really taking it serious. Instead of just hugging me and helping me through the emotions, he said there's nothing we can do, and that I'm just mad because I'm in competition with my sister. My sister who tried once and got pregnant right away, but I've been trying for 3 years. My sister who I also talk to every day and am very close with. So that was frustrating coming from him, that he couldn't see I was just hurt. That was 2 weeks ago, so fast forward to today. I read through his texts. Apparently he called his mom and texted her about the fight the day it happened. Well, in the texts he says that, I'm honestly over it. I have no control. She's lucky these dogs are around, because if they weren't I would have been gone. I don't have time for this. And I'm over it. He also goes on to talk trash about my sister. This hurt pretty bad to read. I will be the first to admit I'm a generally anxious person, and especially with this procedure coming up. I have so many emotions and definitely have my ups and downs. But now to know he's going to his mom, and not just expressing his emotions, but saying he would be done if it weren't for our dogs, doesn't sit right with me. Do I pretend I didn't read these, since I know he'll be mad I went through his phone? Do I confess to reading them and ask about them? Do I even try to get an answer from him, and say fuck you? Counseling. I don't think I'll be able to look at him the same without addressing, but also know he'll probably be pissed I looked through his privacy. You should tell him you read them, put a stop on IVF, because who wants a kid with someone like him? Tell him you'll try counseling, but otherwise move on. These are huge red flags you don't ignore. Why would you want to have children with this man? You wanted this guy to be a father? Protect kids at all costs. Confront him about what he said. And he sounds like he's angry you had no idea. This isn't an environment to add more onto. Also, the dogs are yours. Allow him and his mother to live a long, happy life together. Uno, reverse him. Hey, since you're wasting my time and fertile years, I can't keep staying with you just for the dogs anymore. I'm sure your mom will hear you out. If he isn't supporting you now, how is he going to be if you actually have a child? He may be acting out because he is the infertile one, and he feels a lot of shame around that. But seriously, his way of dealing with it all is awful. He isn't going to change. I would cut my losses and go. If his thyroid is low, that could impact sperm count and sperm quality. His refusal to follow up on that is a huge red flag. Even worse, IVF is tough on females, and there is a chance that you do not need to do it. As far as his text with his mom, I think that shows you who he really is. I would share it with him, and refuse to let him focus on how you should not have checked his phone. Make him discuss what he has been saying to his mom. I think that you are lucky to not have kids with him, and that this is a good reason to divorce him. He actively doesn't want kids with you, and has been sabotaging the process while allowing you to stress and get emotionally invested. He doesn't even want to be with you, and is only staying for your dogs. To your face, he says just enough to get you to stay with him, but it's only because he has some conveniences with you that he'd have to deal with if he was single. He doesn't love you or want to be with you. I'd go talk to a lawyer and get my options in a row before I talk to him about whether or not the relationship is worth salvaging. Personally, though, if I found out my husband was telling his mother he only stayed with me for the pets, I'd be gone so fast. And I've been married 20 years. Is it time for me, 19F, to break up with my boyfriend, 19M? My boyfriend is absolutely perfect for me on paper. He checks every box I could ever think of. We communicate extremely well, we don't fight much, and we trust each other deeply. The only problem is that the spark just isn't there for me. I don't get excited to see him or call him anymore. We haven't had sex in months, it's just all kind of meh to me. I don't think it's fair for me to stay with someone that I don't feel that spark for, especially not for someone as kind and wonderful as he is. But I also can't imagine not having him in my life. I love him, and I want to keep him as a close friend so badly, but I know it unfortunately never works to stay friends with your exes. It almost makes me wish I never started dating him, so I could just keep him as a friend. Do any of you have experience with situations like this? And if you do, how did you resolve it? Edit. Sorry, thought I included how long we've been together. It's been around a year and 3 months. Also, I've seen a lot of you asking about the sexual aspect of things. My sex drive has been pretty low the past couple years due to a medication I'm on, but recently I realized I might also just not be very attracted to my boyfriend in particular. Very confusing stuff to untangle. I told him about the medication side of things. He's very understanding about it and doesn't press the issue. You'll find in life there are times when love is like embers and not a fire 100% of the time. I'll just say remember this for the future. What are you doing to stoke these feelings? When's the last time you had a cute date together? Once you have to resort to on paper and check boxes, for reasons to stay with someone, then you're better off ending it. You are correct. If there's no spark, then you have nothing. The spark is always genuine and organic, and it's what keeps people madly in love with each other. Don't do that. Keep him as a close friend stuff that will not fly with most people you begin to date. File this one away as a learning relationship and move on already. Do not waste any more of his time. You don't want to date him, but you want to know he is around. You gotta romance him. Trust me, it's actually a lot of fun. I love taking my boyfriend on whimsical dates. Seeing his face light up at the Lego store is so adorable. We are totally grown, by the way. Our first date, we picked a parking garage in a major city, got out and just explored. Once in a while I can get him to do the same thing, but in our smaller nearby cities. You should break up. It's not fair for both ends. A partner should be someone you're excited to see. I only needed to read the title to say yes. You're 19. If you're asking that question, the answer is yes. I, 33 male, am not attracted to my 29 female girlfriend, and it's killing me. My 29 female, GF, and I, 33 male, have been together for almost 4 years. We were most compatible on Hinge, wouldn't you know? Right off the bat, our sense of humor was dialed like we made each other die on our entire first date, and for the most part we still do. The issue is there's always been something off in our physical compatibility. She was admittedly quite plus-sized when we got together, but I overlooked it because of how great our chemistry was in other areas. I am the opposite, complete obsessed with maintaining my body and maximizing whatever physical gifts I've been given. We have admitted to each that we're not each other's typical type, but still have had some great intimate moments together. Lately I've been finding myself growing less and less attracted to her sexually as time has progressed, and she's noticing. I try to tell her that I'm just tired or not feeling it, but lately I've been out of ideas. And what's worse for me is that I'm finding other women more and more attractive, and I feel incredibly guilty about it. I find myself trying to catch the gaze of other women, and I catch myself and scold myself internally, but the thought are persisting and gaining traction. What kills me more is she's trying so hard to change, Ozempic, diet, exercise, etc., but I still don't feel any more attraction to her. I don't know what to do. I've never been with someone I love this much yet feel so little physical attraction to, and it's killing me. I've never told her any of this because I cannot stand cause her pain, but it's becoming harder for me to hide it. Has anyone ever navigated this situation before? If so, what did you do? Is it a phase or is it forever? Help. This is very unfair to your GF. You might think you are being nicer by not telling her and continuing to date her, but in reality you are disrespecting her and wasting her time by not letting her go politely. She deserves someone who is already romantically and physically attracted to her as she is. It's best to leave. You gotta let her go so she has a chance to find someone else. She's not getting any younger. It's not fair to just hang around. You like the gym and said she is trying to exercise/diet/etc. Do you go to the gym with her? This could be something the two of you can bond over. Jesus, that poor girl. Please leave her before you hurt her more. Men seriously just destroy the sweetest women's self-esteem and self-worth. I bet she'll have problems with those the rest of her life. But at least leaving now will allow her to find someone else who actually thinks she's beautiful. Beauty fades. Even if you find another person, they will always change in appearance, white hairs, wrinkles, etc. I think you need to reevaluate what is it that you truly want.